Today, let's talk about Michael Usi. Now, before you laugh or roll your eyes or even log off, just hold on. This is a man who is the sitting Vice President of Malawi. People who don't take him seriously focus on his career as a former actor, or his jokes and charisma, or refer to his appointment as the Vice President after the death of Saulos Chilima as a political move by MCP and Chakwera to appoint someone they could control. On the other hand, Dr. Michael Usi was a successful NGO leader and development specialist. Before his political rise, he was a country director of ADRA Malawi, which he led with distinction.
That's a fact.
He was also widely known through his cultural work, specifically as the star of the iconic TV series Tikuferanji, which tackled pressing social issues through drama. As of today, when this video is being released, MCP and President Chakwera are yet to announce the running mate of the September 2025 presidential elections. Many say that Michael Usi may not have an automatic ticket, and in our last video we discussed the recent activities of Vitumbiko Mumba, Minister of Trade and Industry, who seems to be putting himself in the limelight as the potential running mate. Of course, vice presidents are rarely chosen at random. Most are handpicked with one or two motives in mind. Either to ensure loyalty and non-interference, someone who won't threaten the presidency, or to bring genuine competence, mass appeal, and added political value. And Usi actually fits both cases. He was handpicked by the late Saulos Chilima to be his running mate and vice president of the United Transformation Movement, UTM. Following Chilima's tragic passing in 2024, Usi was appointed vice president of the Republic of Malawi. So let's take a deep dive into Michael Usi's personal journey, his political trajectory and current political positioning. How relevant is he? Do people actually take him seriously? Does he stand a chance to have a meaningful impact on the 2025 presidential election? And most importantly, will Chakwera surprise everyone and pick him as his running mate? Let's dig in. My name is Brendan and this is M-dubz Report. Mwadzuka bwanji, mwaswera bwanji, madzulo abwino. Born on December 16, 1968, Usi is currently 56 years old. He attended primary and secondary school in Mulanje, then obtained a diploma in clinical medicine from Malamulo Medical College. He has a bachelor's degree in administration from Andrews University, USA, a master's degree in strategic planning from the University of Derby, UK, a master's degree in international development from Andrews University, USA, and a PhD in development of strategy for youth development through education from the University of Bedfordshire in the United Kingdom. So you might see him joking and laughing, but the guy is very educated. Michael Usi's interest in the arts began in secondary school, and he continued on to make a name for himself as a talented actor. So he gained national recognition for his role as Dr. Manga in the film Dr. Manga. His work on the MBC TV series Tikuferanji is what he's most known for, and that role is what cemented his status as a prominent figure in Malawian entertainment. He used his TV and radio performances to highlight social and political issues reflecting the realities of life in Malawi, especially through Tikuferanji, which was seen as a public service because it reached millions of viewers weekly and influenced many national conversations about HIV, AIDS, and sexual reproductive health. In 2008, Dr. Usi received an award for outstanding service to youth ministries using theatre from the West Central African Division, Nigeria. Dr. Michael Usi is an Adventist by faith. He is married and has 2 children. Now let's talk about his professional career before he moved into politics. Dr. Usi worked for the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, ADRA Malawi, for 26 years in various roles. Then he rose to the position of country director. He was known to be very successful as a director because he was responsible for the organization's growth and the development of programs related to education, HIV, AIDS, youth, and economic empowerment. He was also involved in efforts to build the film industry in Malawi and still advocates for its growth. His professional path gave him first-hand exposure to Malawi's governance gaps at both the institutional and grassroots levels. Michael Usi transitioned formally into politics in 2019 through the UTM when he was unveiled as the running mate of the UTM leader late Saulos Klaus Chilima. Chilima recognized Dr. Usi's national appeal and moral credibility, so he personally selected him as his running mate in the 2019 election. While their initial presidential bid was unsuccessful, the landmark 2020 re-election brought them into power through the Tonse Alliance. Michael Usi initially served as Minister of Tourism and Culture before being appointed Vice President of Malawi in 2024 after Chilima's tragic passing, an appointment which was seen as a tribute to Chilima's vision and a stabilizing gesture within the alliance by some. While some critics thought that his appointment was a weak choice by Chakwera, they say he only appointed someone that he didn't see as a threat.
That's not true.
Now let's skip to the UTM Convention that took place earlier this year to discuss why Daliso Kabambe was elected over Michael Usi. I'll keep it brief. Number 1. Many UTM party members felt that Michael Usi was behaving more like an MCP member, which is the ruling party. So we don't know what was happening in the background. Maybe they felt like he wasn't involving them in his role as vice president. Or maybe they felt like he wasn't challenging the government like Chilima did. Being a VP can be tricky and requires political finesse, especially if you're a part of a different political party. Number 2. His refusal to accept that a national convention vote should take place to appoint a new president of UTM after the passing of SKC. There have been many reports about this, and I guess he assumed that he would automatically be handed the position of president of UTM. That caused the rift in the party. Number 3. Apparently, he conducted independent political functions in conjunction with MCP. Of course, this caused a divide in the UTM. Their members divided into two camps, those supporting Michael Usi and those who were supporting the rest of the UTM leadership. And finally, he did not partake in the process of voting in the new UTM president and was quoted saying that he would deny the eligibility of whoever gets voted in. I think those actions really solidified his stance and ultimately destroyed his relationship with UTM. In April 2025, Dr. Michael Usi launched Odya Zake Alibe Mlandu political party, a movement that claims that it aims to address economic inequality and corruption. So let's discuss where Michael Usi is now, the consequences of his recent actions, and what his options may look like moving forward. Let's be honest. Michael Usi's reaction to the UTM's convention and their choice of a new president was a bit impulsive. As a founding father of the UTM, even if he wasn't selected as president, he should have exercised political maturity and positioned himself as a vital and senior member of the party. On the other hand, he has said that Kabambe, who was selected as president, was not always an ally to UTM. He also claims that many of the current leaders and members of the UTM weren't supportive of Chilima, except Newton Kambala and Kwesi Msusa, who he says were the only people who genuinely loved Chilima. Many fingers are being pointed in this situation, but honestly, the last thing that opposition parties in Malawi need right now is more fracturing of political parties, especially when we know that it is likely that alliances are what will win the 50+1 majority in the upcoming elections. However, Dr. Michael Usi's choice to start a new political party might be his best and only choice for political relevance. If he wants to align himself with Chakwera and MCP, he needs to showcase political power. Lately, he has been conducting grassroots activities, visiting marketplaces and interacting with people. If he is able to build support and grow a significant following, then maybe his new movement may be a value to MCP or whoever he chooses to align with. The next few weeks and months will be telling. There is talk of alliances forming, but nothing is concrete at the moment, and we are waiting for the announcements of running mates for the major political parties. These announcements will let us know where Dr. Michael Usi stands for the upcoming presidential elections. I think we're in for some surprises. What are your thoughts? If you find our videos educational, consider subscribing and sharing. I've been your host Brendan from M-dubz Report. Zikom.